If you are relocating to Seattle, thinking about selling, moving up, or downsizing, or even watching the market as an investor, pay attention. Now, more homes are for sale. Homes are taking longer to sell. Buyers finally have choices, which is the best part. Yet prices aren't dropping the way most people expected, causing a disconnect. Now, this gap between rising inventory and steady prices never stays open for long. And the people who understand this particular aspect early usually make better moves. Now, this January 2026 update matters more than you think, so pay close attention. And stay with me until the very end, because I'll share a free resource that lets you see up to the minute zip code specific real estate data for any zip code across the US. Pretty cool. Just wait for it, okay? Hey, Ravi Ramachandran here with the Rams Group. I help relocation buyers move up and move down sellers, and real estate investors make informed real estate decisions across the Seattle and Eastside areas. Now, every month, I review the real estate numbers from the Northwest MLS and explain what they actually mean in plain and simple terms so that you can move forward with absolute clarity and confidence. That's it. Before we zoom into the local counties, King, Snohomish, and Pierce, let's take a quick peek at what's happening nationally, and then we'll tie it into those three local counties. Now, nationally, the trends around the mortgage rates and inventory explains the way our local markets are acting right now. Now, nationally, the housing market slowed down towards the end of 2025, and mortgage rates played a big role in that shift. Now, according to Mortgage News Daily, the 30-year fixed mortgage rate is hovering around 6.2%, which is actually lower than last year's highs, but still enough to keep buyers cautious. Now, at the same time, active housing inventory nationally is up roughly about 15 to 20% year over year, and buyers now have more choices. They do have more time and less pressure to absolutely rush to make a deal. All that said, this is not a crash, it's a pause. Buyers are being selective, sellers are adjusting to the new normal. Homes that are priced right and show great are still selling with low days on market. Now, that national pause matters because the same pattern is now clearly showing up across the Seattle region. Then let's turn our attention to King County. The market here is clearly calmer. Active listings jumped year over year, pushing months of supply to about 1.4 months. And that's still technically a seller's market, but it is far more balanced than what we've seen in the recent past. Now, homes are taking longer to sell. The average days on market are now in the mid 40-day range. The list to sale price ratio has slipped to around 98%, which kind of tells us that buyers are negotiating again. Prices at large are holding stable. Now, the December median price landed around $910,000, and the full year median finished near $975,000. Now, demand hasn't disappeared. It has become more thoughtful from the buyer's perspective. Now, King County is no longer the speed market. It's more of a strategy market, I would call. After looking at King County, let's move on to Snohomish County. Now, Snohomish County showed the shift even more clearly. Inventory increased. Homes are sitting longer. Now, average days on market for homes is around 40 days. Now, this is a big change from the frenzy we saw before. Now, prices did soften modestly, with the median finishing the year in the mid 700s. Homes in Snohomish are selling closer to list price instead of above it. Now, this creates a perfect golden opportunity for buyers, doesn't it? Especially for relocation and move-up buyers who want more space, kind of avoiding the King County pricing altogether. Then let's move on to Pierce County. Now, of all the three counties, Pierce County continues to be driven by more affordability, and inventory there is higher. Now, homes are taking longer to sell there, with the average days on market pushing up close to 50 days. Yet, the prices in Pierce County remain steady, and the year-end median price finished at around $575,000, and sellers are still receiving close to asking price in Pierce County. Now, the normal logic is that buyers who are priced out of King and Snohomish County move towards Pierce County and look for homes there. Makes dollars and cents. Now, Pierce County remains the most affordable, as I said, and this is the anchor for the entire region. And a market investors continue to watch really closely. So after looking at the three counties, King, Snohomish, and Pierce, let's glean specific insights if you are a buyer or seller in this market. If you're a buyer, upon connecting the national trends with the local data, the message for you is super clear. You have leverage again. You have options. You have time to think and act. Now, this isn't the loudest market, but it's often the most strategic if you plan correctly. Now, you may want to act before the competition returns should the rates kind of ease from mid to later part of this year. Now, after looking at the buyer's perspective, let's see what it means for the sellers. For you sellers, the market still is working, but buyers are picky. Homes that are priced right and prepared well are selling, whereas homes that are chasing the last year's prices are not. So price your homes correctly. Super important. Now for investors, discipline matters again. Underwriting matters, so leverage it accordingly. Now after looking at the buyers and sellers' perspectives, I want to let you know that I have access to all the detailed stats across King, Snohomish, and Pierce counties. And instead of rattling every number to you, we just looked at a few statistics. And those metrics actually matter to you. That's why I shared them. And I always believe that clarity beats information overload every single time. Wouldn't you agree? And now it's time for me to reveal the free resource that I promised at the beginning of this video. Are you ready? I have a page on my website. I've provided the link below in the description. Now this lets you research any zip code all across the US, not only in Washington, by just keying in a particular zip code, looking at the active data, homes that are for sale, the active days on market, the price differences, and the whole shebang. So feel free to go to the link that I've connected in the description below and access it so that you can benefit. Now, I'd love your take about what stood out to you in this market update. Does the market feel slower or balanced or still competitive where you live? Drop a comment below and share your perspective. I read every one of the comments that I receive and I will personally respond with my insights. Now, until the next one, you take care and stay safe. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.